Yo, this is iHack. I just wanted to do a quick go over, I guess. I don't know, tips and tricks. Yeah, I guess there'll be a lot of tips and tricks. So, yeah, for Sith Sorcerer, I got a few questions about my build and, whatever. So I'm gonna try to shed some light on it. Yeah, here we're madness. I just switched over from healing to damage again for like the 50th time. It's costing me a metric fuck ton at the moment, but whatever. Um, yeah, we go ahead and get the buffs to Force Lightning, of course, and we'll get the buffs to Willpower, and we'll take more buffs to Force Lightning, of course. Um, we pick this up every time you crit with a periodic damaging ability, damage over time or whatever, you get 1% of your HP back. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's saved me many a times. And later on in the tree, you can actually buff it, and you can buff it more in other trees as well. Yeah, we get Chain Shock, which will, when you cast your shock, it'll cast another shock for like half damage or so. It's very useful when you're trying to finish people off and shit, or you want to pop someone's shield that they have on or whatnot. This is experimental, oppressing force. I took 2 points out of the Sith shit and put it into oppressing force just to see if I could proc the whirlwind on 2 people. It'd be hella useful since I spec into instant whirlwind, and the 10 seconds off of electrocute doesn't hurt. Definitely doesn't hurt. Yeah, we pick up Madness. Force Lightning, no one has a cooldown. It's an absolute must. We get Wrath. Now, Wrath is your basic, basically it's the center of this build, as well as Death Mark. But Wrath makes your Force Lightning have a 30% chance to make your next damaging force with no activation time. With an activation time, it'll make it instant. So basically, it'll make your Crushing Darkness instant. And it'll make your shock shit. What's the shit? It'll make your lightning strike instant as well, which is really good damage. Yeah, it's really good damage. So I'll use that as well to finish people off and shit. But usually I use the proc for putting up my fucking Crushing Darkness. As well as this thing will make it 20% more damage. So it'll make anything that you have to cast, it'll make it instant and give it 20% more damage. So but when I get into a fight, I'll chain our Force Lightning first to get the proc, and then I'll put up Crushing Darkness for 20% more damage. Yeah, we get Force Auras, increases your damage dealt with Affliction by 15%. I mean, this is a huge talent. It's a must-have. Death Mark is a must-have. Actually making Death Field an actual viable thing to use in battle. Whenever you cast this on someone, you mark them with a Death Mark or whatever, it's like 20% extra damage for your next 10 periodic damaging abilities. This thing does stack, and it doesn't like reset. So like if you use death field on like 4 people, your next 10 damaging abilities on each one of them will do 20% more damage as long as they have the buff. It only lasts 30 seconds. I pick up Haunted Dreams. This is a for me, I think it's absolutely worth it. It makes your whirlwind instant, and if someone breaks it, the person gets stunned. And it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not great for like, 1v1s, because when you whirlwind someone, they heal pretty rapidly. But in a battleground or a war front or war ground or whatever, when you're doing your thing, man, and you need to CC someone, an instant whirlwind is just ideal. I mean, it's really ideal. It's very efficient. It comes in handy. Yep. Next we'll be going into Creeping Death, which will give us 30% damage on our crits on our periodic, our 30% bonus damage to our crits on our periodic damaging abilities. And yeah, we'll max that out before going into Devour, which will increase the healing by 20% that we get from our 2% buff there, as well as Death Field. And then we'll get Creeping Terror, of course, which will paralyze. I mean, that's so detrimental. It damages melee so bad. I mean, they really can't touch it. It's on a 9-second cooldown, and it stuns them for 2 seconds and does straight crazy damage to the face. So it's pretty damage. It's pretty scary. Yeah. And later on, once we level up to 50, we'll be going into Corruption. We'll get crit in Corruption. We'll get the 2% presence and all healing done, which will give you another 2% healing on top of your Devour, which gives you 10% or 20% healing. So yeah, stacking that is definitely not bad at all. And then we'll go into increases all healing received by 8%, and that will also stack with the 20% from Devour, and with Haunting Presence that'll make it 10%. So that's 10% bonus healing to you in this spec. And then we'll stop there, and then we will we'll put 3 points in here, which will increase the damage dealt by Crushing Darkness by 6%, as well as some other shit that don't really use much. Lightning Strike and Crushing Darkness, 6% buff to that. We'll go there with it, and that'll max you out at 50. Alright, so that's basically it. Yeah, you want to use Force Lightning until you get the proc, and then you want to go into Crushing Darkness and Affliction, and then back into your Force Lightning. That's your basic chain there. You also want to throw shocks in to get the proc, and whenever you proc your Wrath, and Crushing Darkness is on cooldown, then you can go ahead and throw a instant Lightning Strike out. It'll do 20% more damage and have no casting time, and it's a fairly good damaging spell. But yeah, definitely remember to use Death Field at the beginning of every fight. I mean, the 20% added damage is absolute must, and if you're missing out on that, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I hope this clarified some shit up. Whatever. If anyone has any more questions, like on a healing build or something, just post under here and let me know, and I'll make a healing video too.